Have you ever tried a diet and you couldn't stick to it for, long enough to get to the body that you really, really want to see? A lot of times people quit within a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. But what is the secret or the, the ideal way to do the dieting in order to be able to stick to it? That's what we're going to cover in this video. But before we go there, click the subscribe button below, because on this channel, you're going to learn how to build a strong, healthy, high-performing physique as a kick-ass successful entrepreneur without starvation, without cardio, without cutting out carbs or any other BS that this industry is unfortunately built on. What is up, guys? This is Coach Amir from 7figurebody.com, and in this video, one of the most common things that we see, we know this from scientific research, we know this from actual real world. What is the issue with weight loss? Almost nobody can actually stick to their diets. We know this, right? More than half of the US population is on a diet at any time. Like right now, this moment, 160 plus million people are dieting in the US alone, just in the US. Imagine the world, because we know that most people in the modern world are like 70-80% are overweight. So almost everybody's trying to lose weight. Millions and millions are on the diet right now. Most of them will never lose the weight for any length of time. They're not going to keep it off. Okay, so what are the issues with why people can't stick to the diet? Well, first, there's a couple of big issues that we know. Number one, they fall for whatever the newest fad diet is. Okay, cut your carbs, just don't have any carbs. Cut your fats. Now we have the, just eat meat all day long. Later on, it's going to be like, okay, meat is terrible for you. All the protein is terrible. Just eat, cucumber all day long, or just eat, rice all day long. Whatever. Who knows what stupidity the industry is going to come up with. But that is the number one reason. You're falling for the fad, which we know as a fad, it's something that's going to come and go, because people are like, everybody jumps on keto. It's amazing. After everybody loses 20 pounds and gains 40 back, they're like, oh, okay, this is really stupid. Let's go to the next thing. Next thing, carnivore diet. Oh my God, it's amazing. Carnivore is the greatest thing ever. You lose 30 pounds, gain 50 back, and then you're like, okay, this was really stupid too. How many of these fad diets have we gone through in the last 50 years? What do you think? Probably hundreds. Yeah, these like main ones that become popular is probably a few dozen of them. But when you think about all the diets that have been quote unquote come up with, it's hundreds of it. These all fad diets. As long as you're falling for the fad, it's just like, an entrepreneur saying, hey, last 90 days I did this thing and I didn't become a millionaire. Damn it. Let me try to find another, push button, make millions thing. And it never works. Of course it doesn't, right? That's the number one thing. And the number two thing is the mindset. The people are looking at the diet as something that they're going to do for a couple of weeks, get in great shape, and they're just going to go back to their old ways, eating what they used to eat before. Somehow magically they're going to stay in great shape, right? We know how this ends. You're dieting, you actually end up weighing more and having more body fat than you did before. Many, many reasons for that. That would be a video on its own, why this happens, right? Why the yo-yo dieting? What's the actual psychological and physiological reasons underneath the yo-yo dieting? And I'm going to make a video on that. Probably great topic. When you know how that works, you're probably going to look at dieting differently, right? But that's the mindset of looking at things short term. What can I do for the next 3 weeks to get in great shape? Sorry, there's nothing you can do in the next 3 weeks to get in great shape. It's not enough. For most people, when you need, this is one of the posts that I made on Facebook that people shared a million times. It's basically, you need to start thinking in months, not in weeks, between where you are now and your perfect body. It's not going to happen in weeks. It's going to take a few months. For most people, it's about 3 to 4 months to get completely transformed. If somebody's very overweight, maybe 6 months. If somebody's close to obese, probably close to 12 months or maybe even more. But it's several months thing. It's not 3 weeks and I'm ripped. No, that mindset's never going to get you anywhere. And then the third thing is, people are just doing things that are absolutely unsustainable. So somebody says, I'm going to do 2 hours in the gym and 2 hours of cardio, and I'm going to eat chicken and broccoli all day. Yes, is that going to work? Absolutely. But first, how long are you going to be able to stick to that? Number one. Number two, even if you could stick to it, is that the life that you really want to have? Who wants to work out 4 hours a day unless you're a professional athlete paid to do that and you really love it? I, do this for a living. I don't want to work out 4 hours a day every day, certainly, nor do I most definitely don't want to eat chicken and broccoli all day. I love food. I want to eat pretty much whatever I want. So it's about learning the fundamentals of both building muscle and training and dieting properly or eating normally in order to put you in a deficit to lose body fat, be in a progressively overloading, training program. That's what builds the muscle. That's what you really got to do to build muscle and lose weight, lose body fat, and get in great shape. That's what you got to do. Not some unsustainable, I'm going to work out 15 hours a day. Those are the three big things. But another that you need to avoid, if you don't do these three, if you just focus on the fundamentals, being in a slight calorie deficit by tracking your calories, knowing how much you should be eating, how much protein, fats, and carbs need to be within those calories, that's what's going to get you lean. You need to be in the gym. Again, it doesn't have to be in the gym. You need to be some type of resistance training. You can do this in your garage, in your house, outside, wherever. You need a pair of dumbbells, your body weight, and maybe resistance bands. If you don't like to be in the gym, you can totally build a great body without ever stepping foot in the gym, 100%. And then 3, you need to figure out what is sustainable for you so you can stick to this for the next 60 years, 50 years. I always ask my clients, once we have the system customized for them, I'm like, hey, do you see yourself, so they do this for 2, 3, 4 weeks. I'm like, do you see yourself doing this for the next 20 years? If the answer is no, I don't, it's whatever, we go change it. Because whatever we do that they don't see themselves doing for the next 20 years, what does that mean? That automatically right there tells you that whatever results they get, whenever they stop that and go back to whatever they were doing before, they're going to lose all the results. They're going to go back to wherever they were before we started. What's the point there, right? That's the main thing that you need to avoid, those 3. Fad diets, some kind of like mindset of, how about I get ripped in three weeks? And then 3, don't do things that are unsustainable. Think about, can I do this for the next 50 years? Okay, that's gonna, the longer your time frame, your time horizon is, the much higher chance of keeping it off you have. Okay. Now, another thing that I want to mention as a part of this too is a couple of months in, you're gonna have a dip in motivation. This is absolutely unavoidable. It's just like needing a diet break. When you do everything, you're focused on the diet and all this, and you stop dropping body fat. What happens? Your body's kind of like beat down. You need to do a diet break, which is essentially a week or 2 of eating at maintenance calories that basically allows your brain, sends the signal to the brain that, hey, we're not starving anymore. We're not going to die. We're not going to do this forever until we're dead. No, there's food. It's fine. Things are okay. Because think about it. From the standpoint of your brain, dieting is like slow starvation to death. That's what your brain thinks. We're going to be in a calorie deficit forever until we die. Of course, your brain doesn't know that, no, we're not. We're just going to get to whatever leanness you want and then stop there and eat at maintenance forever from then on. Okay? So this dip in motivation is unavoidable, always happens, and it sometimes happens with 3 to 4 months. I've just had a client that I chatted earlier with today that like about 5 months in, he got awesome results, like 20 pounds of fat lost, built some awesome muscle, looks great, but it's not there yet. Like the result is not there yet. We want abs, right? So we want to get all the way to 11, 12% body fat, and that's going to take another probably 2, 3, maybe 4 months. Doesn't matter. It's going to take a little longer. There's dip in motivation. What do we do at that time? Number 1, you need to talk to your coach or your friend or a workout buddy or somebody who keeps you accountable, because you should have some kind of external accountability. I believe that you should. It's always easier to win. It's not like you can't win on your own. You can, but remember, it's much easier, more likely, and faster to win when you have external accountability. Whether it be a coach, a program, a buddy, workout buddy, a friend, somebody who's keeping you accountable in some way. Talk to them, and then you need to go over your results that you already had. Because remember, Tony Robbins says, progress equals motivation. If we don't make any progress, we lose motivation. How can I keep doing something when I get nothing out of it? I probably won't. Yeah, if you have iron will, you're going to stick to it for a couple of months, then you're going to quit, right? So because of this, you need to go back and revisit that's why I have to say to my clients, look at your before and afters. Look at how you looked before we started. Look how it is now. They look at it like, oh my God, I can't believe this is shocking, right? All of a sudden they're motivated again. That's why I'll put this picture somewhere on your, on your computer, on your fridge in the house, so you can always put it on the screen, of your phone, so that you see it all the time, right? That's one way to keep yourself motivated. The other one is just look at the hard numbers. Like look at, okay, you lost 18 pounds in the last 4 months, 5 months, 18 pounds of actual body fat is gone. Just think about what that does to your health, to your, what kind of a role model are you now to your kids, to your employees, to your family, spouse, to yourself, to everybody in the world when you show up? Is your confidence higher? Do you look and at the world in a different light? And the answer is yeah, absolutely you do. All right, so just a couple of things that basically go over your results, remind yourself why you're doing it, think about what is the ultimate result you want to get, and this is guaranteed to give you like a little boost in motivation. And then one other thing, the last thing that I've really always emphasized heavily is make sure that you track your progress. That's why every day we have daily accountability, plus every single week we do progress tracking where they take pictures, they measure body fat percentage and hop on a scale if they have a scale, but I don't really care about the scale. I want fat percentage measurements going down every single week or two. And as they do that every week, just the numbers going down, they see the improvements right there, both visually because they're taking a picture of themselves and actually numerically, meaning they see the numbers going down. Like they measure, if it's a guy measures body fat here, it's going down every week. Or a month later, he's like, hey, this used to be 14, now it's 11. It's freaking great. This is what gives you constant, continuous motivation. So guys, I hope this helps. I hope this helps you stick to your diet faster and longer, or better and longer, so that you can actually get to your perfect body. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe below. Let me know if you have questions or comments about this in the comments below. I will be happy to I read all the comments and I answer them when I see them coming. So please let me know what you think of this video. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.